In this video, I'm going to make this butterfly mobile. There's a lot of fretwork there, a lot of cutting to do. Stay tuned and I'll show you the pattern and material I use to do this. So real quick, I just wanted to go over the material and the patterns. You see I got 5 butterflies. And we've got the little main part that everything suspends from. And this is all 1/8 inch Baltic birch plywood. They're also all drilled, as you can see that. I've got a hole drilled in every opening. There's about 300 cuts there. I know there's at least 200, 250. I'm thinking more like 300. But I've drilled everything. And I'm going to get started cutting. It's going to take a while, and I'm going to do a little at a time because it can get kind of tedious. But anyway, here we go. We're going to start cutting it. And we'll see how this plywood holds up to these fine internal cuts. Well, as you can see, I've finished one of them. I did this one first, or at least they finished the internal cuts. I did this one first because it had the most internal cuts. There's like 130 or 40 cuts on that one. And I figured it to be the hardest, most difficult, smallest number of small cuts, and the most number of cuts. So I did it first, got that out of the way, and it should be a little easier from here on. But I'm going to continue on, and I'm going to start cutting on this one, I believe. But I'm going to do all these internal cuts on these 3 before I cut the outlines out. And so it should move a little faster now. Let me get started on this one. Also, by the way, I'm using a number 3 blade. This is a Pegas modified geometry blade. I just started using these 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I tell you, I'm really pleased with it. It's like I've got a different scroll saw. I was going to do a video on the difference between this one and the old one I was using. I may try to do that later, maybe this week or next. But anyway, I'm going to move forward with this blade. I really like the way it's cutting, and we'll get started on the next one. I did go through 2 blades on this. I'm on my 2nd blade now. I broke one in the middle of that. Problem with that many cuts to make, it's real easy to crimp the blade as you're moving through the hole, and once you do, it's just a matter of time before it's going to break, and that's what happened on that one. So I try to be real careful not to crimp the blade, but every once in a while I will. So let me get this started, and we'll do a little more cutting. Alright, as you can see, I'm well into the 2nd one. I'm on my 3rd blade. Still cutting pretty good. Further I go, the easier they are because I picked the hardest ones first. So I think I got the absolute worst or hardest cutting out of the way, most tedious cutting. And having a lot of trouble with the adhesive I use. It wants to gum up there in front of my pattern, but blade change helped that a little bit. Anyway, I'm going to continue cutting here and try to get this where I can cut the outlines. Alright, I've got all three of these butterflies cut internally. Now I'm going to cut the outline of them. My plan is I've drilled an entry hole for each antenna because I believe the antenna is going to be the most delicate part. This is pretty stable wood. It's plywood. It's not easy to break, but still that's a thin, long piece. So I want to cut these. I want to make the last cut on each side at the base. So I'm not cutting out on the end of the end of it unsupported. And I've done that on all of these, and that's where I'm going to start. I'm going to cut these antennae, and then I'm going to come around the rest of it. And I also want to leave as much of this outer wood in place to protect it as I move it around my fingers so I'm not grabbing those. Anyway, that's my plan, and that's the most delicate part of this whole operation, I'm thinking. And that's my game plan now, and let me get this threaded up, and we'll start trying it out. Also, this is my fourth blade. I had to change blades right on the end of this one. So it's a fresh blade. I think it'll help me with cutting this. Well, I'm well into the 5th butterfly. I got this one finished. I got the other 3 cut completely out. I'm on still on my 4th blade. Probably won't finish this one with this blade, but that'll give me a fresh blade to do the outlines. I've done the same thing here. I've drilled entry holes for the antenna, and do the same thing on these. These are not as quite as long as the other 3, but they're still pretty fragile, so I'm going to have to be careful with them. Anyway, I'm going to continue on. I should finish this one before too long, and we'll see what the next step is. Well, here I am on the last internal cut on all the butterflies. This will have finished all 4 of them. I'm on the 5th blade, so it averaged 1 blade per butterfly. But I'm going to make this cut, and we'll come in and do the outline. Well, there's the finished product. My wife did some painting on it. There's the hanger. I think it turned out okay. It was a lot of cutting. Went through 5 blades total to get that done. But it's just another little fretwork project. It was kind of fun to make, but it was time consuming. Hope you enjoy that. Please hit the like button and subscribe. I'm trying to do some more fretwork stuff. Thanks for watching.